All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Mason, aka Amiiglows.
And I'm Kyle, aka Mr. SpaceHeater.
And I'm Josue, aka AmiiboSteal.
And we are scanning in to Touch Base Podcast, level 14. So, this week we've got Josue back. Good to have him.
Hey guys, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
So, it's going to be a little different. We're going to try to keep it a little shorter today because we ran long last week by quite a while. So, this week we're going to cover E3 and everything that was announced there. But before we get to that, Josue has a few things he wanted to talk about, specifically what June 7th is all about, or was about, and what's going on with AmiiboSteal and basically the entire Amiibo community right now.
Perfect. So again, thank you so much for having me on. So June 7th, for weeks prior to the event, we've been putting videos, kind of just like teasing really what June 7th was about. A lot of people had a lot of questions about what exactly was that about. Like people were asking, is that when Bayonetta acquired and all these Amiibo come out? But it was a collaboration that we are doing currently with all the people in the community, within the Amiibo community, to give everyone in the community a fair chance of getting great Amiibo, but on top of that, helping and promoting other people in this community that we feel that should be recognized for their work and everything that they do. So in this case, we already finished our first week, which was the Splatoon, kind of like we had like a little Splatoon theme, which was the Callie Marie pre-orders that we got in for our winner, and they're also getting in a Splatoon exclusive Nintendo New York store poster. So this, at least for the first week, it's sponsored by Nintendo Gurus, aka Bobby, and AmiiboSteal, which is us. And we had a great run. Everything's going really great. We've gotten a lot of good feedback from it. This week already is the Shovel Knight Amiibo that we're doing. We're already giving that away. And then next week, it's a really good collaboration that we've been working for a while. We have been working with Gana Chris on a really great custom. Her work is amazing, so stay tuned to what we're going to announce on this week. So make sure that you're keeping us on watch because we're going to be teasing a lot of stuff until the release date. But other than that, we're going to be doing these 12 weeks of giveaways. It's all Amiibo related, or some extent like something Amiibo related or Nintendo related. So it's just a nice way for us to give thanks to the community. Amiiglows and AmiiboSteal just had their 1 year on June 7th. That's why we're also celebrating our 1 year of existence. And this contribution with the community has been amazing. But on top of that, it's because of the support of the community that we're both here and everyone that's here. So personally, I wanted to thank everyone for everything that they've done. So that is really what June 7th is about. Updates on our community. We're expanding our content. That's probably the biggest thing that we're looking and focusing into right now. Expanding everything we're doing, from our articles to our availability and stock in Amiibo, from our designs, from everything that we're doing. We're trying to really kick in, especially now during summer. There's a lot of big announcements that have been made, so we're trying to kick into our content, and that's where we're going at right now. There's a lot of surprises coming in the way, so make sure to tune in with us for that. But other than that, that's updates for AmiiboSteal and the community, so stay tuned to that, so thank you.
Great. And so with that upcoming giveaway, Kyle and I got a little, he told us what it is. And you do not want to miss that giveaway. I want to be part of that giveaway.
I'm going to be part of that giveaway.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like when you're like a customizer in the community, and you like enter, and you like if it's like a retweet to enter thing, I feel like the artist doesn't actually enter you in their giveaway. They just are like thinking you're promoting them. So, because like I've never won somebody's giveaway.
I don't know, but I feel bad because I've entered giveaways on like Instagram and stuff like that for customs and things like that. I'm like, I make these. I could be taking this from somebody else who can't do this. Like, it's not necessarily fair. But I also never win. So.
I wouldn't care. Like for what is about to be given away, I don't care.
Yeah, agreed.
I want to enter. So Josue, as much as I will retweet you guys as much as you want, but please actually enter me.
You'll be answered. Everyone has a fair opportunity. Again, like especially with everything we're doing, everyone has a fair opportunity. And remember, this is our first, not our first custom giveaway that we've done on AmiiboSteal, but this would be the first within the 12 weeks. So really, everyone has a fair shot.
Yeah.
I'm very equal with that. So yeah, that's
I wasn't accusing you of anything. I'm just saying like that's something I feel like when I retweet like someone's giveaway,
yeah.
I feel like I'm not actually entered. I feel like they are just thinking I'm helping promote them.
Right.
So
it's
anyway,
like please give me
Yes. Yeah. So definitely check out AmiiboSteal. They got a lot of cool stuff going on. Nintendo Gurus, Bobby Pauls, who we just had on 2 podcasts ago. We've had on before. He is involved in this as well. So, and Gonda Chris is one of the upcoming artists helping out with this as well for the upcoming giveaways. So do not miss that. It's going to be awesome.
Right. And it's a lot of fun, and we have, Ganda's not only one of the collaborators within this project, at least for the custom community. So we have a lot of people, and we also have Amiiglows and Mr. SpaceHeater. So maybe something you'll see, maybe something down the line. This is a formal invitation that I'm doing to you guys. I haven't checked, the last episode, but at least this is my formal invitation. But go ahead, thank you.
Little overdue. No, I'm just kidding.
A little overdue.
No, it's fine. But I will see what I can whip up for you. I haven't done an Amiiglo in over a month now.
Wow.
Just I haven't had the time. I guess I should probably mention that. So in case you guys did not see, I proposed to my girlfriend, now fiance, this past weekend. Or by the time this podcast is out, 2 weekends ago. And so we are now engaged, and so I'm very excited. I posted some pictures on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know what Kyle's doing, but yeah. So really excited about that. But I've been busy trying to keep that a secret from her because she's terrible about trying to sniff out any secrets or stuff that I'm trying to keep. So I've been really busy trying to keep that a secret, planning out how I was going to do the proposal, all that stuff. And so I just haven't had time for really anything else. On top of that, I've been working full time. So now that that's done, now we're in wedding planning mode, so I'm kind of screwed. But I'm going to try to get some stuff in as far as customs go. Actually, I've got 2 in the works right now that would be perfect for a giveaway for you guys. That I had the Amiibo pulled apart and drilled. I just never finished the thing putting it back together. So
there you go.
I'll get something done for you. Anyway,
thank you.
So moving on. So 2 weeks ago, we had the release of Kirby, King DDD, Meta Knight, and Waddle Dee, as well as Summer Outfit Isabelle and Animal Crossing Series 4 cards. So how did you guys... We're going to do something we haven't done in a while, and that is the state of our collections. So with the state of my collection, I managed to pick up 2 of everybody except for Isabelle and the Animal Crossing cards because I do not care.
Fair enough.
Good, yeah. Should I go and
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Go for it. Go for it.
So my state of my collection. Okay, so I did pick up obviously another Kirby, love it, and I did get another Meta Knight. So probably those are the 2 that I have so far, and I have pre-ordered, which we're gonna go obviously more into depth later, of the new Super Mario Series 2-Wave 2 Amiibo. So I got the Waluigi, the King Boo, which glows in the dark, and Waluigi. Daisy. Sorry. So those are the ones that I got. So that's my state of my collection.
Cool.
Fair enough. For me, I got Waddle Dee just for me. I also picked up Kirby and Meta Knight, but I'm actually customizing them. I'm actually putting them together. That's gonna be an Amiibo, and it's gonna be basically when you scan Meta Knight, it turns into Meta Kirby. That's basically what I'm doing. Just to give that away right off the door. But I also picked up Isabelle Summer Outfit, but only to customize, which I have posted pictures of that progress. Everyone is a little confused and calling it Donald Trump, which is understandable. The hair looks that way. But it's actually going to be all dark hair with colored tips because it's going to be Rocker Isabelle, and she's going to have tattoos down her arms because now her arms are bare and all that stuff, and she's going to have like a band T-shirt on just because why not? Like that was an idea I came up with back when they were going to release her, and I was like, well, let's do that. King DDD is a character I don't care for, so I don't even know if I'm going to own him ever. We'll see.
Gotcha.
That's
All right.
awesome.
Cool. So, just a question. So when I went, I had a bunch of doctor's appointments that morning. I wound up getting there like 11 a.m. or so to a Best Buy. I went to two different places. I went to Target first, and I went in, and no, I went to Walmart first. So I went to Walmart, and there was like it looked like they just restocked the shelves. They had like dozens of all the Inklings and like a bunch of the Super Mario series, and it was an immaculate display. Nobody had bought any of them, so it looked like they just restocked. I was like, but there's no Kirby's or anything. So I was like, okay, maybe they've got them behind the counter. So I went to the counter.
Oh yeah,
and said,
you
hey.
uploaded that image. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the counter and said, hey, do you guys have new Kirby amiibo that are supposed to come out today? And they go, no, we don't. I'm like, what do you mean you don't? Like, you didn't get any? And they're like, well, we have a shipment that's supposed to come in today, but it hasn't arrived. I was like, okay. So
I had similar experiences.
well, and then they're like, yeah, like we're not a super Walmart, so we don't stock our shelves with things like the morning they're supposed to come out. Usually, I was like, okay, cool, thanks, and I just left. I was like, well, they obviously aren't going to help me find what I need. So I was like, well, I'd rather not waste my time here trying to convince them that they should go in back and look for the things. So I was like, well, I'm going to go to Best Buy, which was not too far down the road. So I went to Best Buy and first thing I did was check the shelves, because every time I've gone to Best Buy for an amiibo release, they're always like, they never actually keep them behind the counter. They always just stock the shelves first, which is annoying as all get out, because then it's just a race to the back. And so I walked back there, nothing. I was like, okay, it's like 11:30. It's possible they sold out. Not particularly likely, but possible.
Right.
So I found a guy in the video game section and said, hey, did you guys have a lot of people for the amiibo release this morning? He goes, no, there was nobody here. I was like, okay, cool. So there's a bunch of amiibo supposed to come out today, right? And he's like, yeah, the Kirby ones, right? I was like, yeah, do you know if you've got those like behind the counter up front or something? He's like, no, they're still in back. I just haven't stocked the shelves. And it was before talking to this guy that I posted the picture of their display and be like, what gives? It's an amiibo release. There's no new amiibo out. And everyone's like, check the counter, and I already checked the counter. But and so I then found this guy, and he's like, yeah, let me go in back. I'll grab them for you. So he brought out the boxes, and he's like, if you want to give me a hand, I'll let you take out whatever you want. And I was like, cool. So I gave him a hand stocking the shelf, and he let me like keep the cardboard boxes that they come in, because I was getting 2 of each. So that's 8 amiibo total. So I have each 4 in their box, in the original cardboard box that they were shipped in, and so made it easier to carry them out. But I got 2 of each, and there was still like 4 of each left for everybody else. So.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Isabelle, though, there were only 2 Isabelle in the whole package.
Yes, same thing at my Best Buy. Weirdly enough, I went. I was working, so I had to go on lunch break, but I also had no fear that they were going to be stocked. So I went to Target, and they had all the Kirby ones, no problem. They had like 8 Kirbys on the floor and only 4 of the other characters. And they had no Isabella, so I asked somebody, and they looked it up on their little PDA thing, and they were like, we say it's only sold online. Like, Isabella Summer Outfit's only online. So I was like, whatever, I'll go to GameStop. So I drive, but it's the same freaking block. I went down to GameStop and went in, and I was like, hey, I see you guys have some of the Kirby. Do you have any of Isabelle? And they're like, most of our Kirbys are gone. They only had 2 left, which was surprising, because I'm the only person I know that I've talked to that had low stocks left. Everyone else is like, we're still stocked, but my GameStop's basically out by now. But they also got no shipments of Isabelle. And I was like, what is going on? I'm like, the one I want to customize, I can't find anywhere. And I had to go to Best Buy, and Best Buy had everything. They had Isabelle, they had the winner, Isabelle 2, and they also only had 2 of each, which I found crazy.
Weird.
Well, my experience at least I didn't get them on Friday. I got them on the Sunday, so the following week. So, I mean, I walked into my Toys R Us, like I do like a weekly thing. I kind of post a picture like every week, kind of like showing the amiibo that they have on there. They were fully stocked. Like, I mean, but that's my service, Toys R Us. Like, I remember going in there when there was like 4 amiibo, but they were stocked. Like, every time, like they had even ones like they try to stock it as much as they can, because they don't want to put anything in the back. But I mean, I walked in there, I grabbed my Kirby, grabbed my Meta Knight, and I literally walked out. It was fully stocked.
Nice.
So one thing I kind of want to ask you guys, what do you think about the smaller packaging? Because that seems to be a theme with all the new amiibo that come out, like unless they're in a multi-pack. And even when they're in a multi-pack, it's like a skinny multi-pack. They're not like the deep ones like the Smash ones are.
It reminded me of like the Yarn Yoshis, like how like the plastic container at least, you know, where it's showcasing the amiibo. Like it reminded me of how small that one is. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Obviously, the ones that I personally had a problem with was when like the first like the Chibi Rebel bundle, you had this like weird tag. I was like, that's a little weird. But I'm okay with it. I don't see a problem with it.
I like the smaller packaging personally as a customizer because it makes shipping easier because I box everything. And there's several boxes I have that it's literally the slightest centimeters too short for the amiibo. Specifically Bowser. Bowser's a pain. But having the smaller boxes makes finding boxes so much easier. I can go smaller, shipping's cheaper, all that fun stuff.
So from a display standpoint, I don't like them as much because it doesn't look the Smash ones look like a protective case almost like the Hori cases. So it displays better, in my opinion. However, I agree with you from the shipping perspective. The little ones are great.
Now that you mentioned the whole collecting thing, that's gonna totally differentiate how I hang them up now. Like I'm gonna have to organize them by size of box if I get smaller box ones.
Yep.
Because I am definitely picky like that. Like I'm gonna notice that.
Yeah. All right. So let's start with some E3 coverage. I mean, we got a lot to cover. We've been recording longer than I thought we would have been at this point. All right. So E3 was last week, and I loved everything Nintendo did. I think I was pissed that they didn't show the NX, or at least give us a name. I was really hoping for a name for the console.
Name is fair. I'm not surprised about the console.
No, I'm not surprised they didn't show the console. They said they weren't.
Well, they said they were going to do a lot of things, and they still brought more games.
Yeah. So I'm really. I don't know.
Personally, I'm okay with it just because, you know, they were really trying into putting an effort into this E3 to making sure that, you know, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild had a lot of like attention. Like that's exactly what they wanted to promote, and Nintendo knew that this game would be a really good received game if they promoted it as well as they did. I would have seen it as a problem if they would have brought it the NX and kind of like they were just talking about it. Like I feel like, from my perspective, it's great that they just talked about that one game and focused it for a whole day, and then the following day they announced the other games that came along with it, and then ended the day with The Legend of Zelda. But I'm okay with it, at least for a little update with that. The president of Nintendo, not president of Nintendo, but the CEO of Nintendo of Canada, did speak to a couple of reporters about when exactly we'd be seeing the NX, and they were talking about that it should be revealed sometime in August. We don't know if that's going to be sometime like in PAX West when we'll be.
I just heard fall in general, not heard fall.
It would be in fall. So whether it's in PAX West or whatever, or if they make a direct about it, that's really on them. But like that's exactly what they were asking. Why didn't the NX show up? And that's Nintendo's focus right now, to get The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild as much attention as they could. And thankfully, that's exactly what happened.
The biggest reason I'm cool with them showing so much Zelda is because I didn't expect it to be as big, as different, and as complex as it was. With all the stuff they had to show that was new, all of a sudden the delays made sense, the focusing on one game made sense. I was no longer disappointed at all.
Yeah, so same here. Awesome. And to be honest, I've never been a big Zelda fan. I haven't hid that. I talked about that briefly in a couple other episodes. I really didn't like Twilight Princess very much. Like, it's cool, I guess. I liked Skyward Sword actually quite a bit. That was the first Zelda game I played all the way to completion. Why? Why don't you like Skyward Sword?
Because we need an option to not have to use Wiimote mechanics.
Okay, that's fine.
That killed the experience. It was way too involved. Like, once in a while, if I want to get active and I want to play something that feels virtual, that's cool. But the entire game, it got very tedious, for lack of a better word.
Okay, I understand that. However,
The story was great.
Yeah.
Story
So
was
I also played Link Between Worlds all the way through on 3DS, and I enjoyed that. I don't like 3DS play. I don't like playing on a small handheld anymore because I have fairly large hands and it's very annoying. Even though I have the XL, it doesn't feel as good as like the gamepad or like a larger console controller. Anyway, so again, we already are off on tangents. Oh my god. Okay, talking about E3, I wasn't disappointed with anything, but I am not excited in the slightest for Super Mario Series 2.
Really?
I do not care. The only one I'm actually excited for is the Boo that glows in the dark.
Right? Okay, no. See, okay, no, I'm okay with that too, but Waluigi, for me,
I
that's
want Waluigi.
Waluigi is no,
make a Wario Land game with Waluigi already. Just
you guys don't understand what that was. As I was covering E3, Nintendo out of a sudden response to the Twitter handle at midnight, because the question was, when are we getting Waluigi? Are we getting it? And literally they just responded, yup, with a Waluigi picture. From that moment, everyone was like, I'm gonna curse right now. I'm sorry. Holy shit. Everyone was just like, what the fuck? We finally got it.
Yeah.
I mean, at least okay, some of them I get where you might have a problem with it because it's kind of maybe the same character that we've had, just a different pose or whatever, a different base or whatnot. But Waluigi, you gotta have it.
On that level, Donkey Kong is also in a better pose. Donkey Kong is in a way better pose now, also.
They look better. No, they look cleaner though. Their design's cleaner.
They do all look better. I will say the ones that they're the same characters redone, they all look better.
Yeah.
I still don't care.
See, my thing is, from a Mario Party 10 point of view, yeah, who cares? Who cares? I was excited mainly because we've been waiting for them to do this, and I'm kind of upset they waited as long until they're like, oh, but Mario Party, what is it, Star Rush?
Yes.
That was awesome. I watched some gameplay, and I'm like, this looks pretty cool. This is decent. It's kind of a new take on Mario Party, which is nice. It's a little fresh. But outside of that, the fact that they're going to be compatible with something else that they're meant for, that worked out very, very nicely. So
okay, so I thought of something of why I could get excited for these. In particular, there's been a lot of rumors, nothing confirmed still, for Mario Kart 8.
Oh, that's right.
Mario Kart 8, Nintendo UK or whatever it was, keeps teasing new courses, new whatever, and it's just if they're going to do more Mario Kart 8 DLC, and they're putting out these new amiibo for Super Mario series, and if they do anything even close to what you and Bobby talked about, with if you buy the 4, it unlocks a Grand Prix, I will go buy them instantly. I will be so excited. But if they just unlock a stupid skin, I don't give two craps.
It's going to be really sad if they're all the extra DLC that we've been teasing is just new skins for Amiibo. I will literally be up in arms, so mad, because new DLC in general would be great. We want more courses. I personally will always say that is the #1 game to own on Wii U, in my opinion. That is the biggest reason to own a Wii U.
Smash.
Okay, Smash is tied. Those two together is the team. But Mario Kart is so smooth and so nice, and I can't think of one level that I'm I hate that level, because they are all enjoyable in some way. So if they're just skins, I'm going to cry. I'm still going to own them, but I'll probably cry.
So, yeah.
Really quick, we did get a question on my Instagram post that right now is just works. Someone did ask if if Boo was glow in the dark. We do want to confirm. We have mentioned yes, it is glow in the dark.
Yes,
they did not know yet. Just want to clarify.
So I will be buying a Boo to customize, and I will be putting a UV LED inside of it, that it will, it'll glow purple on the inside, but then the natural glow will be green. I'm imagining, most likely. So, should be kind of cool. As soon as I saw it glows in the dark, I was like, okay, I know what to do.
It's a little unfortunate, but they didn't necessarily give us kind of I don't know, an overview of how it actually looked, how bright. But like what you're saying, you can't really turn off anything at E3.
Okay, now here's the thing. I can already tell you, it's not going to be bright. People are going to be like, oh, it barely glows. because glow-in-the-dark plastic is not particularly bright ever.
Right.
Unless you like
the best-
shine it on a black light or something, yeah, it's not gonna.
Yeah, the only way to make them glow pretty brightly is to put it in full sun for like a full day outside, or put it under a black light, and that will make the glow really pop. So, what is the solution? That's why I would put a UV light inside. A black light is a UV light, essentially. They're not quite the same thing, but for the purposes of what we're talking about, they might as well be the same thing.
It's the UV you need anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So by installing a UV light inside, whenever you scan it, it essentially charges up that glow in the plastic. So.
Quick question, have we found out what the Mario Party series of Amiibo are going to do for the new Mario Party game, or do they just kind of cover the new game?
I don't think
they just covered the game.
They kind of just covered the game, if anything. Yeah. They didn't really use it. Because the ones that they had there, like they were explaining, they're prototypes. They're not even
right.
It wasn't anything like official. They're still working on them, so they're not even certain what they're gonna do. They were just talking about the game in general. But it's cool that we're getting them.
So we don't know what Mario Amiibo are gonna do yet.
Yeah, exactly.
We know they're coming. They are for pre-order currently. Boo is sold out still, correct?
Well, in Amazon, but if you go to Best Buy, they're all available currently still. And sometimes with these type of pre-orders, sometimes like the first allocation of stock kind of gets sold out, but eventually Amazon puts in the second order, so it replenishes. So give it time, and it'll be back out very soon.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And my guess is that GameStop will have plenty as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm just gonna go to GameStop because of the Power Up Pro rewards thing. By the way, if you are a GameStop customer and you don't have a Power Ups card, well, one, you had to have it for some of the pre-orders in the past. Two, if you have bought a lot of Amiibo at GameStop, and as long as you give them your Power Ups card, you probably have, at this point, if you've been collecting Amiibo even since Wave 5, realistic, or like 5B, if you've been even if you started then, if you bought most of your Amiibo at GameStop, you probably have enough points to get a Pro account for a year for free with those points. Because realistically, those points are going to sit there doing nothing. And so by going Pro, you get yourself a lot of discounts and stuff. Granted, GameStop is overpriced on a lot of stuff still. But for Amiibo, you can get like most of the $12.99 Amiibo for like $10.15 or something like that, $10.20. So it saves you a little bit of money. And then like all the like sales and stuff, you even get like when it's like buy 2 used get 3 free or whatever, you get discounts on that still, and so it's actually pretty helpful. So if you don't have a Pro account at GameStop and you buy a lot of Amiibo or games at GameStop, odds are you have enough Pro points for a year or two.
It is very
of their Power Up Rewards Pro, which is totally worth it. Not to pay money, don't pay money for it. But if you have stuff you want to buy, just go buy a couple games, like 5, 6. Like if you have 5 or 6 games coming up, just go ahead and pre-order and get them on your Pro account. You'll get enough points, and you can just go Pro for a year. And then realistically, if you're any sort of gamer at all, you're going to end up with enough points by the end of the next year to do it again.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
That's my life pro tip for this.
There
episode.
You go.
Right there.
So anyway,
the juicy stuff.
Yes. Zelda. Zelda. And Kyle's about to crap his pants. He's been waiting for this.
My niche.
Yeah.
So before we go really in depth to this, so they obviously announced 3 new Zelda amiibos. So the Link Archer, the Link, there's 3 different Link amiibos. So yeah, it's all like the Link Archer amiibo, the Guardian, right, and the Link Rider.
And the Guardian has movable arms,
which is so
bendable, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't like it. I was like, no. Being honest, out of all the 3, that's probably the one that I don't like. That's me. Like everyone's like, yeah. Like personally, I don't like the Guardian. I don't like it.
Well,
but
so it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, it's like
I don't like it. Like for me, it's huge. But that's the thing that a lot of people are asking. Like, is this gonna come in at like Are they going to sell it separately? Is it going to be?
I'm imagining all the legs are just bent up against it in the box, like, and then you take it out of the box and you bend them all outwards to whatever you want to do. Mine are going to be aiming at him, honestly.
Or what if they're like downwards? Like, what if they're not necessarily like, out there, but just like downwards, just enough so it fits at least the box? I personally think it's going to come in a 3-pack because it would make.
That's totally going to be a 3-pack.
It has to come in a 3-pack. They wouldn't sell.
That's why there's 3 of them.
If they had, that would make the money. Like, yeah, it's probably going to be big as hell, but.
Well, and here's why they're going to do the 3-pack. The Guardian is essentially an unknown character. Like, people would buy the other 2 Link poses for sure, because Link's a huge character. People love Link, and having different poses, not with a P-stick, is wonderful. But nobody really knows who the Guardian is or what it is aside from like one of the bad guys in the game. You don't know who made it, what it's supposed to do in the games, like aside from what little we know from the demos at E3. And so unless like the Guardian is like some like let's say the Guardian is Ganon's new reincarnation or whatever, we just don't know that yet or something. I don't think that's the case, but just
I have a theory that they're not bad. But we're not gonna cover all that stuff.
Yes, we're not going in depth about the actual gameplay. Way too many
tangents we can get into, so we're just gonna avoid all that.
Right.
Yeah. But the point being is that unless the Guardian was some major character that will be revealed later, until the game is like played through and people have explored everything and the story behind the Guardian, whatever it may be, is or is not, or until that is completely revealed, no one's going to buy it aside from the really hardcore Zelda fans.
Right.
So it makes zero sense for them to package that separately. It's going to be a 3-pack.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I'd like to cover, if you want, like what we hypothesize each one might do. I think that'd be fun. But before we get to that, I figured maybe we should talk about the Wolf Link because we already know what that does.
Yes.
Just because, obviously, if everyone watched, we know Wolf Link is going to bring a wolf straight into the game to be your companion. He's going to help you. Basically, the main thing is help you hunt for food. He can help you attack bad guys as well, but the main thing was for food. I've heard some people love this. I'm one of them. I've heard some people don't. Shout out to Bobby Pauls. We got a little tussle on Twitter today about it.
And now we have to settle it in Smash.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
go. But I think it's awesome because it's a nice little added feature that you don't necessarily need. It's fun to tease. It's very reminiscent of Fallout, how you have dog meat with you the whole time, a little bit like that. However, it's not as it's not necessity. Some people are bothered by that. They wish it was an unlockable. They wish they could get a companion.
I personally think this is probably going to help out a lot of the new Zelda players who are not necessarily very familiar with how the Legend of Zelda games work. So I guess this would be really great help for the people who've never played it, just to kind of like guide them and help them out a little bit. But I mean, I think with that announcement that they made about Wolf Link being in obviously the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I would see somewhere down the line where they'd finally make an announcement that a standalone version of the Wolf Link amiibo would come out, at least for here in North America. It's found in Europe and whatnot. But I don't think that Nintendo would ever make people just buy the bundle just to get this amiibo, but I could be wrong. But as we've seen with other bundle exclusives, they've been coming out, so
yeah.
That's my prediction.
And didn't we see a while back, like I think it was the last episode you were on, Josue, that like while we were recording, they issued a new CPSIA for the Wolf Link amiibo.
Wolf Link. Yes, just like what we're going to go into tangent about this, but there's that coming soon CPSA that has been updated too. But yeah, they did update it for more manufacturing, unless they really just made either. Remember, sometimes these things take months. Like I remember when they were doing ones for Rosalina and other amiibo, and we didn't see this restock happen until months. Like not even like 2, probably like 6. Like these may take a while, and Nintendo's just manufacturing, getting things ready. So it might not happen. Like it might happen like end of the year, whenever they decide to do it. Really,
I would guess either holiday or alongside the game. Probably
it has to be around that time. Yeah, because you want to give enough people.
Did they tell us the 2 mystery CPSIAs they got announced like a week or 2 ago?
No.
Did they tell us what those are?
No, Nintendo has been really quiet about that. That either could have been, one of the amiibos in the Legend of Zelda amiibo, or maybe it could have been one of the Smash Brother amiibo, but they just really haven't said anything. I personally doubt it's any. I don't know. Like, I personally can't say anything just because, as they were talking about how they make amiibo, it takes them from anywhere from 9 months to a year just to create an amiibo. That means creating a model, creating a prototype, working from the prototype to getting it officially done. That's why I personally think the Smash Brothers amiibos were not even showcased right now at E3 because maybe they're still taking time. Remember, they don't make these in 3 months. They take their time with it. They haven't talked about it. It's still coming soon. Like we were talking with Bobby, is that Nintendo has gotten really smart about these documents that they've been releasing, like the certificates, because a lot of us can, like at least the people who monitor these type of things, with the item number and the other information that are there, we can already speculate what series they're from, because usually the beginning couple letters or digits from there, we already know what exactly it is. But they left that out. They left that blank. It just said coming soon. So Nintendo's gotten really smart about that. Yeah, and I'm glad they are, because if they're working on something, go ahead, Nintendo, do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I'm excited for the Wolf Link amiibo to unlock having the companion. Do we know if it's like if you can only scan it once a day, or is it like if he dies you can scan it immediately and have him back, or is there like a wait period? Do we know that?
I was wondering the same thing. I don't think we know yet.
Okay, that's fine.
We can speculate, obviously. But
I'm guessing it's a once in a 24-hour period sort of thing, kind of like it is with like Hyrule Warriors and stuff. So
Fair.
I think that's probably.
I want to say I disagree, but like I can't think of a logical reason why. Because he has lives and he can die. Like, why would they do that if you can just scan him back in? Like that's why I think I'm with you. It's got to be a waiting period.
Yeah.
Right.
Although I gotta say, the more I think about Bobby Paul's argument about, and everybody else's, people who think that this, like, you should have a companion, you shouldn't need an amiibo to have a companion, even though it's not necessary. I personally am egotistical. When I play like games like Far Cry, I don't need help. I don't call for backup. I take care of everybody myself because I'm vicious. But people want companions, and maybe what they could have done, possibly.
Well, it's not even out yet. They still could.
True. What they can do. All right, what they can do is you do have a companion, whether it's a wolf or something else. Maybe scanning in, Wolf Link makes him.
Hey, listen.
Stop. If we have something like that again, there's gonna be problems. But
you asked for a companion. Be careful what you wish for.
Very, 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 very good point. Well, maybe when you scan in Wolf Link, it just makes your wolf stronger, and then obviously visibly appear like Twilight Wolf Link instead of just like a regular wolf. Maybe they could do that. But basically, add on to your companion instead of keeping people without the amiibo companion list. Granted, again, it's not necessary, which is my biggest argument. You don't need it. It's just for hunting, and I don't know. That's just my.
Yeah.
Yeah, which again brings me to my point. Maybe it could be to the new people, because I mean they obviously try to create this game as giving it a new experience, making it very completely different from what they've done in the past. So maybe this is kind of just to again like help the newer players. But exactly, it's not necessarily it's not necessary at all. So if you're one of those like hardcore Legend of Zelda fans that you really just you want to go into this, no help needed, go ahead. If you're really just like you see yourself struggling, you always you have your Wolf Link amiibo and he can help you out getting food and tagging price. You're good. It really depends what type of player you are.
Also,
Go ahead.
tiny tangent. People were complaining about the fact that there's not like one specific item or like one major weapon that you can't break, etc. They're like, why do I have to break and collect more of these? Like, this is stupid. I'm like, I think this is going to be sweet for people who have played a lot of Zelda. Because I bet any money there's going to be special versions of every weapon that you can find that are probably going to have cameo type of names that like reference other games or are based on past characters or past events, like special kinds of swords or special kinds of arrows. Like, do you find an actual hero's bow? That would be sweet. So I just want to say people need to stop complaining.
Well, okay. So one thing I was sort of surprised to see was that Linkle was not in the game.
Or that you couldn't be a boy or girl.
Yes. And so I only saw like one tweet about it, or one post about it, and what Nintendo. So I can't remember who it was, but somebody was saying like because it's always been Princess Zelda, it would be weird to have a female Link because the Triforce is always 2 men and a woman, but then or a man and a woman plus Ganondorf, and so their argument was like, well, so does that make Ganondorf like genderless or is
right.
or like, and they had a really weird argument, but point being is like, so
he could be a non-issue because he's technically a beast. He's never been a man. He's always been, like classically he's a beast. He's not a man.
Well, he's a Gerudo.
Right. The prophecy changed for it to be Ganondorf, but in the beginning it was Ganon.
Yeah.
When it all started.
Anyway, point being, like, I kind of, like, I understand, like, they could have just been like, yeah, you know, people didn't seem to like Linkle very much, so we decided to cut it. Like,
I just think Enuma doesn't care.
Yeah, well, no, but the answer, it was just weird. The answer they gave as to why Linkle wasn't in it seemed like they were trying to, like, set something up. It was weird.
Oh, fair.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just kind of BS, kind of like their whole. Which I personally, let me just officially say, I don't care if Link is left or right-handed. I think that's so far from important that we shouldn't argue about it. But they brought up, they're like, well, you push the action buttons with your right hand. He's right-handed in that case, which I think was just them trying to get everyone to shut up and stop questioning it.
Yeah.
Because again, it doesn't matter, man. Just
play the game.
Just stop.
Exactly. All right. Well, I don't think we have much else as far as, like, we could go way into the game, but I don't think we want to do that.
One last thing. What is your speculations as to what the new Zelda amiibo are going to do for you in gameplay?
Ah, yes. Oh, and I have one more thing I want to talk about before with why Nintendo went about E3 the way they did. But so as far as the new amiibo go, my guess, I'm hoping that they unlock particular items that like maybe like Archer Link unlocks the hero's bow, or some kind of like Splatoon, and that you have to complete some challenges that the amiibo presents you, and if you complete the challenges, you get some special item that only the amiibo provides.
Yep, that's a good call.
Yeah.
And same with the Rider Link, and have it be like, you know, a super fast version of Epona or whatever.
I figured it would actually probably. I'm sure there's a way to call your horse. I didn't pay attention to all the gameplay if they showed anything like that, but maybe it does call a horse too if you scanned it in, so you don't have to do anything in game. I wondered if that was a possibility. It seems a little too bland, but just another option.
Yeah, no, I would actually. I hope it's kind of like Splatoon, and has that challenge and then reward function.
Right.
And then maybe after that, once you've unlocked it, like you said, for the Rider one, you scan it in, your horse shows up. Or like for the Archer one, you scan it in and you get replenished arrows for 24 hours. Like it replenishes your arrows.
Speaking of which, I wonder if they're actually going to bring back the same functionality that it did for the past Zelda series in Twilight Princess, if they're going to bring back that same kind of stuff for this
I'm thinking
one.
so.
Just to make it easy for them as well as keeping it consistent for us. But I wonder if Guardian will be like Ganondorf and make it harder, because because we don't know anything about the Guardian, I can't think of anything that it would do, because again, we know nothing about those.
Yeah, we don't know enough about the Guardian to. I don't know enough about the Guardian to
speculate anything.
Yeah, none of us really do.
I could see it being like the same thing like Ganondorf does, make it harder.
Yeah,
I could see it being like, maybe, like you said, Kyle, maybe the Guardian isn't a bad thing. And maybe once you discover that plot point, you're able to call a Guardian and use it for whatever ability it has. I mean,
that would be cool.
This is completely...
Because they're blue and you wake up in a light chamber, I'm just assuming they were made by Sheikah. That's just my theory. It's just random. I don't have reasoning outside of that. But yeah.
Well, okay, so did you see the screenshot that somebody grabbed from... They found a floating spaceship thing? Did you see that?
No,
it was like
I missed
Amiibo
that.
Jason, like from Amiibo News, that found it during his playthrough when he was there.
No.
There's like a floating spaceship in the they couldn't get close enough to it to actually see what it was, but there was a giant thing floating in the air that looked like a ship.
Dude, if there's aliens, people are gonna be so mad, and I'm over here like, this is so cool.
I think it's going to be the remains of the castle have been removed. I think it's basically going to be like a piece of the Triforce is hidden up there, and there's no way to get up there. And the
what about like
Guardians
Skyloft in reverse? Like once again, they lifted the land to remove something and hide it.
Yes. Exactly.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I saw that, that's what I started thinking of. I was like, oh. And I'm thinking maybe the Guardians are the protectors to keep Ganon or whatever away. And I think, and here's what, the whole trailer is Link, wake up. It's Ganon in disguise waking Link up to thinking, oh, Link needs to go rescue the princess, and Ganon's tricking Link into bringing it back down to the ground and causes everything to go haywire in the process.
Wow.
Yeah. How's that for fan theories?
That's sweet. That is really sweet.
It's a very Zelda plotline, too.
Yeah, it is. Without using an extra villain to fulfill that trick you plot.
Yes.
It's still Ganon. Although we did hear he's going to have a whole bunch of different forms, which thank God, we need a new Beast. We need a redesigned Beast. Wind Waker ruined that, and then Twilight Princesses was generic in my opinion. So we needed new Beasts.
All right.
Well,
and I think the Guardians are going to be the protectors of the remains or whatever it is.
Yes. Yes.
But they already said it's basically a throwback to a lot of the old Zelda games.
The whole him running out on the cliff overlooking to see Death Mountain is straight up that original cartoon where little tiny Link standing on the cliff and Death Mountain's in the back.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, like the whole game seems like a throwback, but they're also bringing in a lot of new stuff, and so it's bringing in that nostalgia factor. So I could totally see like the Skyloft thing. Like, okay, what I realistically, if for the perfect Zelda game, combine like all the plot lines, all of them.
I was thinking about this earlier because this seems like one to end all plot lines. I will agree also, and start a whole new series of timeline. But I've been wondering, like, the Ocarina of Time isn't just gone. It didn't get unless it got destroyed. It's somewhere, right? Like all the special items we've had in the past can always come together. What if there's one big temple in a future game where, in order to get into it, you have to find all the special items from the history? That would be killer.
But
that's probably way too big of a hope. Like that's a big dream.
No, it is. It's a huge dream, but realistically, I don't think that's too unrealistic as far as what could possibly happen with this game because of how expansive the map is already, and there's so many different areas and so much to do. And they should, everyone's like, oh, there's no way they're going to show us, we're going to see like 2/3 of the game just with this 90-minute demo, and they showed us that tiny little fraction of the map, and then zoomed out and showed the entire map. With no detail, but showed the outline of everything. It's huge.
It's really is.
It is, I'd say, the largest Nintendo game ever as far as like general map size goes. Like, okay, yes, Star Fox covers the entire galaxy, but like
no, everything.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about it. I feel like we've tangented enough.
I know we said we wouldn't do this, and here we are. Like it's hard. You can't stop.
Okay, so let me do the last thing I wanted to talk about was the reason I think Nintendo did things the way they did. They said we're only doing Zelda, and everyone was like, "This sucks. Why would you do that? That's stupid." Blah 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 blah. And Nintendo stuck to their guns, and they did like mostly Zelda. But then a couple weeks before, they let out Monster Hunter, the Generations amiibo. And announced those. And then they also started teasing Mario Kart 8 DLC. I think all those things that they were letting out were to distract us. So, because think about how horrible E3 was last year for them. Everything was leaked. Nothing was exciting and new. People were like, oh, really? Like, that's all you got kind of thing?
Yeah.
And so this year, they gave us stuff that appeared to be like, oh, we didn't mean to mention that, or like, oh, hey, check out these Monster Hunter They're like, oh, hey, look over here, Monster Hunter Generations amiibo. While over here, they've also got the entire Super Mario series and all the Zelda series amiibo and all that. they were doing a bait and switch. They're like, hey guys, look over here, and while the real important stuff's going on over here. And so I think Nintendo played E3 very smart this year.
Yeah,
I
they did.
completely agree. I think, yeah, with all the hype and everything, plus the other smart thing, which they keep trying to do, and this year was actually successful, outside of everyone on social media, is they basically let Microsoft and Sony duke it out with each other because everyone assumed Wii U had and Nintendo just weren't going to be in it. And then Nintendo brought on Zelda and brought on all their stuff and was like, we're still here. We're still in this. Have you guys seen that GIF of Attack on Titan? And it's the one Titan wailing on the other one, and then the dude's just standing there, and Xbox is the one on the ground, and PS4 is up top, and then we use the character just watching.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that, but you need to send me that. That sounds hilarious.
Spot on.
Well, and especially because I used the Attack on Titan 8-bit theme for level 12. But yeah, I want to see that.
Before we conclude, we do have a couple questions from the community.
Oh, okay, great.
So let's begin with the first question. So the first question is, do you think America will get the Monster Hunter Amiibo in 2016? So what we know is that obviously Japan is getting Monster Hunter stories, and they obviously announced an Amiibo line for that, which is the Rathalos Amiibo, which has a male and female variation of the Rathalos Amiibo, and then there's one more, which I can't remember. But my take on that, it's that it can go two ways. We've never have seen like one region exactly just get like an exclusive like Amiibo line, because even when they said that the Famicom Amiibo for the Rob Amiibo for Smash was only going to be Japan exclusive, they eventually brought it to North America.
Mm-hmm.
I see that being a problem just because I feel like Nintendo would probably get a lot of hype here too, because we have a lot of like diehard Monster Hunter fans. It would be dumb for them not to bring it here because I know I would be buying them, but so would a lot of people. So my take on that is like, even if it comes out there first, we might eventually get it, but importing is always an option too.
I think we're definitely going to get them because we're getting Monster Hunter Generations, which is same game but different name. We're definitely going to get them at some point, but 2016 I feel like is probably going to be a little soon. Do we know when the game's supposed to come out in the U.S.?
I'll tell you right now. So Monster Hunter Generations will be coming out in North America on November 28th. No, I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
We'll edit this part out.
So the game comes out
November 28th.
Yes.
There's no way the Amiibo aren't coming out soon after.
No.
Yeah,
no way.
They haven't even announced at E3. So my take on that is that exactly like same thing they have in Famicom Raw, that it came out there first. It's probably going to happen the same thing, and then they'll announce it to coming here in North America.
Well, no. What I'm saying, so the game Monster Hunter Generations comes out in the U.S.
November 28th.
Yes.
Like this year.
Yes, this year.
Then the Amiibo should be coming out at the same time as the game.
That's if they announce it. Hopefully they do. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't. Hoping, crossing my fingers that everything. But
we're going to get pre-orders very soon, I'm sure.
It's very unfortunate that Nintendo really hasn't made a lot of word for like the Amiibo line for this, but if they do, they do, and pre-orders will go up, they'll go up. But if anything, we'll eventually get it.
The difference with Famicom Rob is that we had our own version of Rob, so it's the same Amiibo. Yeah. It scans in as the same thing.
Exactly, but even then, they were saying that it would be a Japan sort of exclusive thing, and eventually we got it.
Yeah. But the difference there is we already had Rob though, it's
right.
So we went without the Amiibo.
I'm saying with my thing with that, it's that in this case they just said it was coming out of Japan, but I wouldn't see that not being a problem it coming here.
There's a possibility they don't expect it to do well here, just considering how Amiibo have done and maybe how they think it's going to sell with them. Like,
well, if
in
they
America,
short stock it, problem solved.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. That's weird.
It's trial and error. But if anything, always in that case, you can always import.
Yeah.
You can always
import. I will. Those things look nice.
So I think they'll probably come out this year. If not, it'll be early next year. But so what? Next question, I guess.
Yes. The next question on that line is. So this comes from Sergio Nuno. This is his question. Any tips on where to acquire LEDs for customs, and if there's any brands you recommend?
I guess I would. That's kind of directed at me, I suppose.
Yes.
A little bit.
So LEDs for customs. I've been ordering offline. You can go to Radio Shack, but they're like $3 or $4 for like 2 or 3 LEDs. And they're actually usually not particularly bright compared to the ones you can buy online. I've been buying Chanzon brand from Amazon, Chanzon. They have a lot of different colors. I actually just got some in a month or 2 ago, but I haven't really gotten to mess with them. I've got some new colors to play with. I've got warm white now. I've also got yellow green and like yellow orange. I've got like a couple different new colors that I can play with. I've got pink now as well. But yeah, so I've got a couple new colors from them. And those are I use the 3mm LEDs from them. They're clear, but they show different colors. They're pretty cheap. They come in packs of like 20, 25 for each color, or something like that. And you order like 200 at a time, and you pay like $7, $8 for that. So don't bother going to Radio Shack. As far as wire goes, 30 gauge wire, copper coated or not copper wire. It needs to be either enamel or plastic coated to work for what I'm doing. Yeah, so Amazon or eBay is your best bet for those.
There you go. And here's another question. Okay, so this comes from Radeon Server. So they're asking why didn't they show the last Smash amiibo? So like what we talked about it a little while ago was how Nintendo's focus really at E3 this year, even though they showed other amiibos and stuff, their main focus was Legend of Zelda. I personally think that probably they're still working on them. They're still kind of trying to figure out how to, I guess, package them or whatever. They're just working on them right now. They'll eventually show us the amiibo. We know that it's coming. They said it was in development, so just know that most amiibo, it takes them months for them to create like prototypes and then work on that and create a final model and then create like the retail product. So we'll get it eventually, either through a broadcast or a little announcement. We'll get them, but
I'm assuming we're gonna get a direct in August or September for sure.
And it would be really good during exactly when they were talking about like the NX and stuff, maybe around that same time period too.
So I have a theory. I like theories; they're fun. Here's my theory. When they announce NX, they've already said Smash is going to be a launch title for NX.
Yep.
They're going to, when they announce NX, what it is, the name, like whatever all that stuff is, I'm sure they'll mention, here's our launch titles, right? They're going to say, and if you get the Smash bundle, it comes with the 3-pack of Corrin, Cloud, and Bayonetta.
That might be a little too far away for a release date, though.
Why?
Like, do you think they hold out on those until next March, approximately?
This is my take on them. Like, I feel like they're probably gonna not release them all at the same time, probably sporadically throughout the year, kind of just to like hold on to the hype of the whole Smash amiibo. They wouldn't do it all at the same time, but I don't see why they would make it 2017. I'd say sometime before the end of this year.
There's only 6 months left in 2016, though.
Holiday, dude. Holiday. They have nothing for holiday. They need to use as much as they can for holiday.
Exactly.
Because without Zelda and the next, they're
guys,
November 4th.
You're both talking at the same time. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, holiday, they have nothing this year. Like,
yeah. Because
they're holding on Zelda till next year and NX, right now they're having a very hard time working on big AAA titles to push for holiday, kind of like last year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're pushing Amiibo this holiday as well, because they know we're desperately waiting for them.
Right. And I mean, other than that, like what they're selling is on November 4th of this year would be the Wave 2 of the Mario series Amiibo. So maybe around that time they'll announce this as well. So just to build up the hype, I guess. But like for me personally, sometime this year.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
No, that would. Well, let me check really quickly.
I had one, but we covered most of it. Someone just asked about the Zelda amiibo. They asked about the new Mario amiibo and what they'll do, which we talked about. Well, they asked if Mario Party 10 will update with them. I'm assuming yes, probably. This was also, by the way, this is user AS Skyloft.
But realistically, who cares if it updates with it? Because it's still Mario Party 10. It's terrible.
Yeah, a lot of people don't play it, unfortunately. But they also asked, what do the bases of the new Zelda amiibos look like, which I did actually look up because I didn't know the answer to that, but it looks like it's the same exact top as Wolfwing. It's all that gold with the Triforce,
Mm-hmm, the Triforce, yeah.
etc. That's it. All I got.
Yeah, that would be it. That's all the questions I have from you.
Oh, and I forgot. I need to gloat about the fact that I called a Zelda series, and I still think they're going to do Legend of Zelda, and then with the name of the game and then the name of the figure. I think I'm dead on, which means we could see Ocarina of Time figures. We could see
I'm
Majora's
afraid
Mask.
you're wrong, but I'm only hoping you're right so I can have a Skull Kid amiibo. That's the only
I'm just saying.
for that.
I still think I'm right. I was right on the Legend of Zelda series amiibo. I was right.
Yeah, I predicted it too. But yeah, I would hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. I think that's it. We covered some questions. We talked E3, specifically amiibo. We did some tangenting because Touch Base
Why not?
podcast
Because
is not complete without tangenting. So I think that covers it for tonight. So,
Yeah, perfect.
All right, guys. So I'm Mason, aka Amiiglows,
And I'm Kyle, aka Mr. SpaceHeater.
And I'm Josue, aka AmiiboSteal.
and we're scanning out of Touch Base podcast level 14.